Hey guys, kinggath here talking about sim settlements. In this video I want to go over the upgrade system and how it works. So the upgrade system is something to inspire you to come back and check out your settlements and see what your settlers are up to. So there are currently 3 versions of every building. The first one requires nothing but a settler, and then from there each building type has its own different requirements. Now I'm not going to tell you the specific requirements because they may change over time and I don't want to invalidate this video, but I will say if you're using the HUD Framework piece, which you see on screen now, you just have to keep those bars full, and that will be enough to unlock all building types. But for those of you not using it, or if you want to do as little as possible, I'm going to show you approximately the requirements for each building type. So the first type we have is agricultural. These are the simplest ones to upgrade. The only requirement they have is that you've got enough defense for the settlement. The logic behind that being that no one wants to upgrade anything or invest anything if they feel like they're not secure. Why do any more work if your work is going to be destroyed at any moment? So if they're feeling secure and enough time has passed, they will upgrade those agricultural plots. Now the farms that they create will become more efficient, and they will create more food so that you need less farmers. So that's the advantage to upgrading the agricultural. Next up we have industrial, which is almost as easy to upgrade as the agricultural. The only additional requirement is that the plot has power, which you can add the same way you add power to any workshop item. Now commercial are a special type that actually have a requirement to reach level 1. That is the only plot type that does that. The others only require a settler assigned. Now the extra requirement that commercial looks at is your population and the number of home plots that you actually have built. The idea being that nobody wants to open a business in a derelict settlement with no settlers and no embedded customers. So the numbers are balanced around a very low charisma so that anybody can enjoy this mod without forcing a build down your throat. So the requirements are easy to meet if you have an existing settlement, but might take a little longer for a new settlement in a new playthrough. Aside for that, the requirements to upgrade from level 1 to level 2 and beyond are the same as those for industrial. You just have to have a proper amount of defense and electricity for the plot itself. I saved residential for last because it has the most requirements. The first 4 are very easy. You need enough food, water, and defense in your settlement, and power for the plot. And then the last one is a little more complicated, but easy to reach, and that's that you need to have better jobs for your settlers. So because I can't measure what is better about vanilla items, the better requirement only applies to about half of your settlement. So as long as half of your settlers have jobs at level 2 job plots, that's enough for all settlers to qualify for the level 2 upgrades, and then the level 3 has a similar requirement. Now, if those numbers don't work for you, say you're barely using any job plots, or you're in a settlement that just doesn't have space for that, you can turn off the job requirement in the holotape. It's like I said, it's a bit of an experimental feature. It's something I like the idea of. I like the idea that they have to be making more money in order to afford improvements on their home. Now, obviously, it doesn't translate as perfectly to this as it does in SimCity, but I wanted to try it out, so that is currently in place. Now, the way home upgrades work is rather than providing direct benefits in the form of income or more food or anything, they are mostly aesthetic. So the first level of all homes was designed to be just kind of a rickety shack that you might find out in the wasteland. At level 2, they get electricity, they'll add lights, they'll do some sort of remodeling. And then at level 3, they will fully commit to your settlement as home, and they'll start decorating the place with pictures and colorful things and better furniture and stuff like that. So that is mostly aesthetic, aside from the fact that it's one of the requirements for commercial buildings to upgrade as well. The last piece I want to cover in this video is the HUD Framework add-on. If you're not using the HUD Framework add-on, you're at a disadvantage because you have to remember all those things I just said to make sure that you're meeting the requirements for upgrades. If you are using the HUD Framework piece, you can basically forget everything I've said before this in this video and just focus on filling those meters. As long as those meters are full, they represent a combination of all the different plot type requirements. So just filling those will take care of everything. Now I'm going to describe each one so you understand what's going on specifically. The first three are directly correlated to the numbers in workshop mode, so those are easy for people without HUD Framework, but that's just the amount of food, the amount of water, and the amount of defense you have versus how much is required for your settlement. Now the negative one is something I will explain in one of the other videos, so you can ignore that for now. Now if we skip down to the next section, those next three starting with the power symbol, those are plot related only, so those only apply to a sim settlement placed plots. The first one is power. That's the number of plots eligible to be powered. So that's everything but agricultural that actually have power. So if you see right now, I've powered up 2 of these 3 plots. So the bar is about 66% full. And then this one is not powered. So we're 1 shy on that. The next one down is the number of homes versus number of settlers. So the bar is about 1/9 full because we have 1 home plot and 9 settlers. And then the jobs bar is a little bit more full because we have 2 job plots and 9 settlers. Now finally, the last piece of the HUD is the happiness meter. Now while you can't directly affect that quickly and easily, that is there to show you that happiness is actually a requirement across the board for all plot types to upgrade. Now currently it's a very low number due to how bizarre the happiness system can be. You almost have to game it often, and I aim to fix that over time with modifiers that are added to the buildings. There already are a lot, which I will explain in one of these future videos, but just know that the happiness is a requirement, but it's a very low requirement right now, and if you're filling those other bars, the happiness will naturally reach a point to make your buildings eligible for upgrades. Alright, so that covers the upgrade system and how it ties into settlement needs. In the next video, I will talk about the dynamic needs system, which will explain that negative number you see right now.